Hello, dear learner. So this is a continuation of our session on InVhestia's model review add-ins or model review tools. And this session will just be as insightful as the previous ones have been. And so today I will be taking you through this section here on shading. So this section here, 1, 2, and 3 will all be covered in this session. And you can see the bottom here, it says export and import. So the first question you might have is, what is an export and what is an import? Well, an export and an import, these are just internal links within the workbook that you're working on. And I'll just give an example here. So I have this calculation that I want to do here. It is the growth rate, the historical growth rate of local sales. That's how I want to do this calculation here, but the information is on a separate sheet, is on this sheet labeled with start actuals. What I just do is I come and pick this up, Control C, and then I copy it here, but I want to link it so that if there's any update, then it will just pick up in this calculation. If there's an update on the actual sheet, it will just pick up on this sheet. So I link it, Control Shift Q, and then I just copy that. So here, this is my import, and the source of that here, this whole line, my export. And so in a typical model, you'll have plenty of this all around imports and exports. And so basically what this add-in that I'm about to show you does is just highlights the imports and the exports and distinguishes them apart from what is not an import and what is not an export. So basically that's what this add-in does. I'll just start with number one here, which is shade. So it just activates it. You start with pressing shade, and that will ask you to save. Just press OK. So by default, all of it is selected, but for this illustration, I'll just deselect all and select just these two sheets, the fin start and the oprav, and then press OK. And the add-in is working, and it says completed. So by default, it will take you to the last sheet. So I'll just move to oprav, and as you can see, this import has been highlighted in blue, which is typically what you do. If it's an import, you highlight it in blue. If it's an export, you highlight in red. And I'll go to the Finstart actuals. And as you can see, the export is highlighted in red. Another functionality is you can change the shade modes. So what you have right now is the default. You could also have pattern, which is basically just the same color, but in pattern. So red for export, blue for import. And then we could also have white only changes color for the font. And so as you see, this becomes red. So this remains blue since we have a macro that always turns the imports blue. But if we didn't use the macro, then the filter will dark. So I'll just take this back to default. And then the last one here is on shade visibility. So you could choose to either look at the export or the import. And as you can see there, that it stopped highlighting the import. We selected the export. And here, if I take away, if I just have the import, then stop highlighting that. And yeah, so that's great. And so how you clear all this is to just come here and you press unshade, and it will just tell you, it will ask you whether you want to continue, just press OK. And that's it. So as usual, it will just take you to the last sheet that you're working on your workbook. But as you come back here, you can see that the shading is gone. And also here, the shading is gone. So this is a very important tool for you when you're reviewing models and you just want to see if a calculation has been done, for example, here, what is the source of some of this data? So as for this, once you just get that, this is highlighted, you just come here and investigate in this row, and you see this is coming from FinStat E9, and so I'll just come here, and this is FinStat E9, and then just investigate what this is, and that's it for that. Hope that was a helpful session.